James, let me explain to people what I did. We had an argument. I remember this shit now.
It's in black and white.
Huh?
It's in black and white, bro. We ain't even got to argue about this. I can read it.
Because
I don't have to. You don't have to explain it. I can read it.
When I said Jay was Shim, I thought that you could go horizontal on the fucking tree, James.
But you no. You went beyond just that because you were going not only off that, you were going also off of the arguments that were being put out at the time about Jay being Shim. That was the big argument at the time. Thank you. So that's all I'm saying is that, Jashub, I knew what your argument was from that conversation. If it changed from there to the presentation, then you need to show me, bro.
Hey, James, you still there? Can I be heard?
Yeah, you heard loud and clear, bro.
All right. To address a few things, we have a model that we have built to come with these deducements. We didn't pull them out of the thin air, and this is how all scientific models are deduced. You have a hypothesis, and then you find corroborating evidence to confirm or deny the hypothesis. And I haven't seen anything to deny the hypothesis yet. That's what I'm looking for. We showed we pretty much discussed the evidence. We haven't shown it yet. We done shows on it before. Pretty much haplogroup E dominating that area. And even after that period, going into the Bronze Age, I mentioned this earlier, after the Copper-Chalcolithic period, they still have 46% of that land being inundated with E markers. So it's like a logical deduction. And then we have the genetic paperwork about the admix with the original Jewish population. So we have strong evidences to pretty much solidify our stance, which is these original Israelites had E markers. You understand? And I'm waiting for him to pretty much bring something that's going to alter that premise. I haven't heard anything yet. He's just giving blank arguments, pretty much red herrings, to try to distract from the actual point. But we got plenty. EP2, E1B1, when he brought up EP2 being the father of E1B1A, E1B1B being in that land, and even Vincent Cabrera, which is a known geneticist, and others are basically arguing that it had its start in the Levant. It proliferated those areas. And then we moved into Africa, and we see that even with the spread of farming. Haplogroup E has been given pretty much the credit for spreading farming and pastoralism into Africa, because before that you had A and B haplogroups that were pretty much used to foraging. So we use all of these evidences to corroborate an argument. It's not just one angle. And using data points and leaving data points out to make yourself sound more favorable, I don't think that's cool. Hopefully the brother come back and he can clean up his act. But pretty much I haven't heard anything to convince me otherwise. You know, these are the type of brothers that get on Facebook, get on social media, and they scoff at the information, but I'm just trying to see an explanation on why he thinks that. And I haven't seen anything to at least change my mind or alter the information to even give him a justifiable, stance against what's being stated, And then he also said another thing. He said, "Oh, you guys are just trying to prove that the ancient Israelites are black." No one even mentioned phenotype or color or anything. We're strictly dealing with DNA. Just because you have a haplogroup E doesn't mean you're going to be automatically black. Hence, you have a 30% or 10% E1B1A introgression into the Sephardim, and many of them are white. So, come on, man, stick to the subject, stick to the topic, stick to the information. That's what we do over here, man. It's the source.
They like that's what be crazy. Like I don't think that they be getting that, man. I really don't, bro.
Right.
Hey, because they never really looked at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and you, we've been talking about this for about 3-4 years. So we've been looking at, building our models and stuff like that. To them, this is like speaking a foreign language.
Right.
Because they never really looked at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and you, we've been talking about this for about 3-4 years. So we've been looking at, building our models and stuff like that. to them, this is like speaking a foreign language.
Right.
Because they never really looked at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and you, we've been talking about this for about 3-4 years. So we've been looking at, you know, building our models and stuff like that. To them, this is like speaking a foreign language.
Right. Block, man.
What, I just copy and paste the damn
Yeah, just copy and paste the link and send it to him.
All right, let me see.
Garfield gonna come in here. The J marker. Garfield, can you explain to me how the J marker is an authentic Jewish haplogroup, but it's the same haplogroup carried by the ancient Greeks?
I
Wouldn't
just
it be a
dropped it in your
conflict
inbox, Garfield, your brother Garfield account.
Garfield, it's in your inbox. If you're there, James just sent you the invitation. But I want you know, serious question. If haplogroup J is in fact a authentic Jewish haplogroup, why do they share the same paternal father or super grandfather with the Greeks and the ancient Romans? That conflicts the narrative because the ancient Greeks was Japhet, not Shem. So you're gonna have to explain that, man. So we waiting on this brother to come in here, man. He get beat up on again. You know what I'm saying?
This is a good setup for my presentation I'm putting together.
Yeah, that's
it's definitely gonna still deal with them quote unquote Japhetic markers.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a good setup for my presentation I'm putting together.
Yeah, that's
it's definitely gonna still deal with them quote unquote Japhetic markers.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a good setup for my presentation I'm putting together.
Yeah, that's
it's definitely gonna still deal with them quote unquote Japhetic markers.
Yeah, them Japhetic markers, man. Like he gotta explain that. J1, I think it is, or J2. I can't remember off the bat, but Wikipedia got it. These people were supposed to be Javon and Grecians, and you know what I mean? Early Europeans. And the biblical narrative and Josephus, they say that's Japhet. Now, if you understand genetics, you can't say that a Shemite and a Japhite got the same marker, same paternal clade, because Shem and Japhet are two different, you know, fathers. They would have two different Y chromosomes. So make that make sense to me, Garfield. If you're gonna come on here, you gotta explain that first before we go anywhere else. Explain this J marker shit, because you be riding that J marker way. We had a debate, and I smacked you all around. You know what I'm saying? Had you looking silly 3 rounds straight. And look, here we go. Here we go. Kyle, how about you jump in here and explain?
Everybody like to talk, but nobody like to get on the stage. You know what I'm saying?
Kyle, can we please get you to jump on here and explain to us how these people that claim haplogroup J share the same markers with ancient Greeks? Come on, man.
Let's go. Molly, my beat.